Hi, my name is Julia Dean of the Julia Dean Photo Workshops, and I'm here today to talk to you about action photography tips. So the first thing that I do is I stop to think about what kind of action photographies do I want. There are different kinds of action shots that you can get. You can pan the action, so you're actually moving the camera with the action as it goes. You have to stop long enough kind of to take the picture, but you got to keep moving. That's a panned action shot. That creates a sense of movement because the background blurs with the action of the person moving and with your action. You can stop the action so nothing's blurry at all, and that you can throw the background out of focus so you really see your athlete or your person on the bike, whoever you're photographing. When I'm out on the boardwalk and I'm shooting into the ocean and into the sand, it's really bright, and so is the sky. And so there's a couple of considerations to keep in mind. If you just put your camera on shutter speed priority and pick your shutter speed, which is what you usually do when you're shooting sports, then when you press your button halfway down, you'll activate your light meter, and your light meter will tell you which f-stop to go with that shutter speed. The problem in a situation like being out on the boardwalk and out on the bike path is that you're shooting into the sun and you're shooting into the beach and all the brightness. And so what will happen is your exposure will be wrong. So what you need to do is you need to get a better exposure. You need to find a different spot to take an exposure meter reading rather than just right off the sand and the sky. And then you lock that down. You either lock it down with your exposure lock, or you go ahead and put your camera in manual mode and then set your f-stop and your shutter speed to what your light meter told you. That will give you a good exposure. Now, once you know you have the good exposure, then again, you make sure that you know what you want to do with the picture that you're shooting. So with Noé, when he was on the bicycle, I wanted to stop the action. So I'm follow focusing with him, which is another point I should mention, is the focus. And I'm follow focusing him, but once I decide I want to take his picture, I have to stop long enough to take the picture. Otherwise, you'll have your own camera movement too. So though he's coming and I'm following him, when I decide to take the picture, I stop and I take the picture, right? And that will stop the action if you've used fast enough shutter speed. The focus is an important thing in a situation like this. When you're shooting action, in your autofocus, you've got different modes. You've got your single mode or your one-shot mode, or you've got your continuous mode, or it's called different things on different cameras, but basically what it means is if you are doing a portrait of somebody, or maybe even watching somebody walk around and you're taking a picture and you're refocusing and you're taking a picture and refocusing, you can just be on the single mode of focusing because you're going to refocus every time you take a picture. But when you're shooting sports and some cyclist is going by and you're trying to follow focus with him, if you put it on the continuous focus, Canon calls it AI servo, as long as you hold your button halfway down, as you're following him, it will autofocus with you as you're following him, and it really makes a huge difference in getting your picture sharp. My name is Julia Dean. Thanks a lot.